Alright, this is pt02 and this is part 2 of the real grade Gundam review, and in this part I'm going to go over its inner frame, and parts of it are already falling off. Not that the inner frame falls apart, it's just that these ankle armor parts that you see here fall off very easily. So you kind of got a sense for this as I was building it in the Let's Build series, but I haven't really had a chance to show off the fully painted inner frame since then. So here it is. And as you remember, it was molded in black and brown, and some of these parts on the legs were molded in kind of a light gray. And I just went in and did some painting with a small fine tip paintbrush and just made it look a little bit closer to a master grade inner frame. And you'll also remember that this core block here was molded in solid brown, so I went ahead and painted that as well. Also, these big, I guess the calves were molded completely in gray, so I left the little gray bits of armor that were on there gray, and then I had to go in with some gunmetal-ish colored paint and paint those in. Same thing on the feet. There were two little gray armor parts on the side, and then I painted the rest of it gunmetal. And I'm just going to take these little bits of ankle armor off because they're just going to fall off for the rest of the video anyway. Alright, so the majority of the joints in this inner frame are pre-assembled, and the ones that are pre-assembled are the shoulder. Actually, there's there's like a triple joint for the shoulder. Probably show it to you better from the back. There's a ball joint here, which lets it go up and forward and back, up and down, side to side, and it can rotate and wiggle. Then there's just the peg that fits onto the shoulder. That obviously lets the arm go 360. And then there's another ball joint in here that's part of the pre-assembled inner frame that lets the arm go out and rotate below the shoulder. So 2 out of those 3 joints are already pre-assembled when you open the box. Also, the elbow joint is pre-assembled, and you've actually got some little piston action back here, although they don't really look like pistons, but they act like them. There's 2 little pieces of plastic on the back of the arm. See if I can get this where you can see it. And as you can see, when you move the elbow, those 2 little piston-like things move with it, and the arm just came out of the socket. But as you can see, when you bend it back, they slide back into position. Pop that ball joint back in there. Alright, and there's actually a joint here at the bottom of the arm. He's got a double jointed wrist. There's a joint here, and then there's the actual ball joint for the wrist. So you can see this joint can go forward and back, and then we've got the regular joint for the wrist. And of course the joints in the posable hands are all pre-assembled as well, but you saw those in the last video. This core block has a pre-assembled joint in the back, kind of like a spine. It's just a double ball joint, which lets the real grade have some forward and back and side to side movement. Of course, there's also that ball joint there for the waist, so he's pretty much got a triple jointed torso, which I thought was a pretty nice touch. There's that pre-assembled joint in the neck that lets it go forward and back. Let's see, the front skirts you have to assemble yourself, but the side skirts are pre-assembled. They're just on a ball joint, so you can pretty much guess how those are going to act. There's also a joint, in fact I'm going to take this skirt armor off to show it to you, that I didn't even realize was there until I was halfway done building the model kit. Lift these arms up, lift the side skirts up. The entire waist unit has this like sliding joint. Watch very carefully. it does this, and then it can go the other way. And I have never seen a joint like this on a model kit before. And I guess it can help with kneeling poses and some of your more dynamic action poses, but I just thought that was a very interesting joint for the waist. Anyway, of course you saw the legs are pre-assembled, and they been full 180, although it's a little more dramatic when you have got the outer armor on, because you can see all the armor plates sliding. It's not quite as fun to do when it's just the inner frame. And at first I was afraid that this inner frame is going to be too stiff, because the knee joints and elbow joints are very, very stiff, but I've found that after I've kind of bent them and played with them a little bit, they are starting to loosen up a little bit, which is good to me. Some people might want to keep the stiffness, but I just thought they were a little bit too stiff, so you can just work those out until they get to the level of stiffness that you want them. And of course the ankle joints are all pre-assembled, the foot joints are all pre-assembled. So yeah. Alright, so this is actually a pretty nice little inner frame. Not necessarily, well, I don't know, it is master grade quality in a 1:144 scale package. It's certainly better than some of the older master grades like Gundam 1.0 and Zaku 1.0, because those kits barely had any inner frame at all, even though they were master grades. But compared to the newer master grades that have come out in the last few years, this is still a little bit lacking. It just doesn't feel quite as substantial. As you can see, he's got these like toothpick arms. The legs look very, very nice. However, the legs are very master grade like. It's just that the torso and arms are kind of scrawny, in my opinion. But also, he does have a little bit of an inner frame for the backpack. It's basically just what's under there without any of that black armor attached to it. And there are also two little pre-assembled joints on the sides for the beam sabers. You've got this little thing right here with the vents on it, and then it's got a tiny little ball joint attached to it, and that's where you put the beam sabers at, and that was pre-assembled. And also, last but not least, there is a little bit of an inner frame to the beam rifle. You can just take this outer piece of armor off, and you can see some nice little inner detail in there. Just like, it's pretty much just like Gundam 2.0's beam rifle. Very, very similar. So, I guess that about does it for the inner frame portion of the real grade review. And just make sure to come back for part 3, and I will go over the weapons and accessories and give my final thoughts on this kit. So, I will see you guys next time.